Hi guys. So today we're just going to be reviewing algebraic proofs. We're going to be reviewing segment relationships and angle relationships. So it's kind of a review, an overview over all of this chapter so far. Um, so let's just do some review here. So don't forget about the reflexive property, symmetric property, and transitive property. So remember, reflexive property is equal to itself, identical to itself. I think reflection in the mirror. You look in the mirror, identical to yourself. AB equals AB. Symmetric property is kind of like the converse, the flip. If AB equals CD, then CD equals AB. Transitive property is the one where you take out what's repeated. If AB equals CD and CD equals EF, we can take out the CDs and say AB equals EF. So I hope you are learning those. Let's try this. If KL equals YT and YT equals SD, then KL equals SD. So what's the one where you take out what's repeated? That's the transitive property. If AD equals GH, then GH equals AD. What's the one that's like the converse? That is symmetric property. And then what's the one that equals itself? XC equals XC. That's reflexive. Remember, I think reflection in the mirror. All right, so you got to know those. Also, don't forget all of these properties, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We just talked about reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, substitution property, and distributive property. So make sure you know those. Also, some of your proofs today will have the segment addition postulate, which we've talked about before. So all this says is if you take this segment and you add it to this segment, it gives you the entire segment. So if you see a proof where you're adding segments, it's called segment addition. If you see a proof where you're adding angles, it's called angle addition. So let's look at your assignment. So on the first one, so you're just going to do exactly what it tells you to do. So like on the first one, it says use the symmetric property. Remember, that's the one like the converse. So if AB equals BC, then BC equals AB. Reflexive property is the one that equals itself. BA would equal BA. Go BA! Use the distributive property for this. So you would multiply it out. 4x plus 4 times 2 is 8. Make sure you don't put any spaces in there. Use the transitive property. That's the one where you take out what's repeated. So AB equals MN. And so on. So you're going to do the property that it asks for you to do. Okay, on these you have make sure you read the directions. So you're going to name the property that justifies each statement. Choose from reflexive, and you'll just type out reflexive. Make sure you spell it correctly. Symmetric, you'll just type SYM. Transitive, you'll just type TRANS. Substitution, SUBS. Segment addition, SEGAD. So you're going to type it just like that. If you mistype it, it's going to count it wrong. So like this one says, AB plus BC equals EF plus FG. Well, AB plus BC also equals AC. So I can take out what's repeated and write what's left. What's that one called? Transitive property. So you would just put trans. So just like what it has in the parentheses. Okay, if Q is between P and R, then PR equals PQ plus QR. So if Q is between P and R, then PQ plus QR equals the whole thing PR. That was the segment addition. So you just type SEGAD. If AB equals BC and BC equals CE, then AB equals CE. That's the one where you take out what's repeated. So I hope you remember it. What's the one where it equals itself? QA equals QA. That's reflexive, so you'll just type out reflexive. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Let's see. This one I think might be hard. So if 10x plus 6y equals 14 and x equals 2y, Then notice we replace the x with the 2y. What's it called when you replace something with something else? That is called substitution, so you'll put subs. Okay. Okay, so these you're just picking the property. So we've been doing these. It's just more practice on the proofs. You justify each step. How did I get from here to here? How did I get from here to here? And so on. Same thing here. Let's see. Remember, anytime there's a word in a proof, like midpoint, the next line is definition of that word. So this first one, E is the midpoint of DF, that's a given. But then this, see how there's a word? The next line is always definition of that word, definition of midpoint. And then what's it called when you replace something with something else? Replace something with something else. Substitution. And then you work through the problem and decide, what did I do to get from here to here? What did I do to get from here to here? Oh, this is the one where, see how I'm adding segments together? AC plus CB equals the whole thing AB. Anytime you're adding segments, it's called segment addition. Segment addition postulate. Here's another one, adding segments. This you're going to just tell me which property we used. Word in a proof. Anytime there's a word in a proof, the next line is definition of that word. Let's see. Then there's some review, lots of review problems. It's kind of review over the whole chapter. Proofs, review. Those would add to 90 because that's a right angle. These would add to 180 because it's a linear pair. Vertical angles equal each other. 3x minus 14 equals 2x plus 10. And then you solve it. Yep. Oh, on these, look for your vertical angles. So like, I know that angle 2 would also be 44. And then how would I get angle 1? What do those two add up to? They add up to 180. So just do 180 minus 44, and then 1 and 3 equal each other because they're vertical angles. What about like this one? So go to 26. So look for your vertical angles first. So see how this one's 90? Angle 2 would also be 90 because they're vertical. See how this is 29? Angle 4 would also be 29. And then all three angles add to 180. So 180 minus 90 minus 29 would give you angles 1 and 3. So I hope that helped with those. All right, if you have questions, just let me know. Have a great day.